Hello, I just want to try starting on a creative series on different creative related questions in order to use them as reference for myself or other people. I'm doing this in near a fire assembly point near this hotel, so hopefully there's no fire that happens while I record this video, and excuse any noise that might be about. I'm doing this very ad hoc. So first question that comes along when it comes to the idea of where do I get the ideas most reliably is, where do ideas come from to begin with? Because you can look at it a lens of, yeah, okay, your brain is the one generating the ideas, but you have other people like Rick Rubin, for example, will talk about how you need to tune your mind in order to connect to an idea. It's not just something that you get yourself. You need to tune your antenna in order to hear the ideas come in yourself. Carl Jung would also say a similar thing, where a lot of his patients would, when they made their art, they made art based on their dreams, and that would come from something he would call the collective unconscious, basically implying that it comes from the unconscious part of your mind, not consciously from your mind. And in a way that's it's kind of, I guess you could consider it a more grounded version of explaining that it comes from your brain, but I found it interesting that he considered this a collective unconscious. Whether you think of it as mystical or not, the point of what I'm trying to say is that where a good idea can come from is just from preparing a space to ensure that your mind is able to come up with the ideas to begin with. So what I like to do is generally walk around for about an hour without headphones, and I know an hour seems quite long, but it's really the first half an hour is to get all those other thoughts, about work or life or whatever, out of your head, and then leaving space in your mind being clear for the second half an hour, where more of those ideas will come about. And I generally find that I do music personally, so I find that about 1 to 3 ideas end up coming about when I do this method. And generally I like to go out with an intention as well, so it might be, how can I put it? If I was to listen to a pop song, then I'll probably be more likely to generate pop songs when I go out and about. If I was to listen to a jazz song, then I'll probably come up with more jazzy ideas. So have an intention when you go out, and allow yourself enough time to go out that you can clear your mind and then start generating the ideas and letting the ideas flow. Generally, you can't create good ideas when you're under a state of head fog and anxiety inducing, so it's good to clear out your mind. So the next part is to also not judge the ideas as they come along. Save the judgment part and the generation part. Make them both separate bits. So when you're out and about, you generate the ideas and you let everything through. You don't filter anything out. So if it's a bad idea, fair enough, but you still log that idea, and don't make judgments until after you've created all your ideas, because if you stop one idea, then you might actually end up stopping a good idea afterwards. And the final one is to remember that ideas are a bit like dreams. Sorry, I told you there might be some bikes that come along. So ideas are kind of like dreams. So I'm going to sound pretentious saying this, but Dr. Alan Hobson says that 90% of your dreams content is forgotten after about 10 minutes, and that's why people generally do a dream journal. When they come up with an idea, they record that dream. When they come up with a dream, they record that dream straight away or as soon as possible, so that they don't forget it. And it's a similar thing with ideas. An idea will come along and it will come from your unconscious, and in the same way that dreams do, and if you don't record that idea, then it will most likely be forgotten afterwards. So keeping a good habit of recording your ideas, whether that's from writing it down or putting it into a microphone or a camera, wherever that might be. And yeah, that's basically how it goes there. So basically, overall, just make space for silence in your mind by going out for that walk or meditating, wherever it might be, and clear your mind so that the ideas can start being generated. To not judge those ideas while you're flowing around, to make the judgments afterwards, and to just keep recording all your ideas that you generate, and then worry about refining those ideas after the fact. So that's it. I'm not kidding when I say that took about 5 or 6 attempts. Let's hope it doesn't take that many times next time. But thank you, and speak soon.